Number 2. The whisper and the wind, hearing the voice of the Holy Spirit. In a world filled with constant noise, endless opinions, and daily distractions, it can be easy to wonder, how do we hear the voice of God? The truth is, the Holy Spirit rarely shouts. He whispers. His voice is gentle, like a soft wind that moves through the heart rather than the ear. To hear him, we must quiet the world long enough to notice the still, small sound of his presence. In 1 Kings 19, the prophet Elijah fled to the wilderness, overwhelmed and afraid. He longed to hear from God. A mighty wind tore through the mountains, but the Lord was not in the wind. Then came an earthquake, then a fire, but God was not in those either. Finally, Elijah heard a gentle whisper, and in that quiet voice, he encountered the presence of the Almighty. The Holy Spirit often speaks this way, not in thunder, but in tenderness. His voice is peace, not panic. Clarity, not confusion. It may come as a gentle conviction, a sudden knowing, a verse that comes alive, or a nudge in your spirit that simply says, "This is the way, walk in it." The Spirit's whisper is not about volume, but intimacy. He speaks softly because he is close. Learning to hear that whisper requires stillness. In a world that celebrates hurry and noise, we must learn the sacred art of silence. Turn off the distractions. Step away from the crowd. The Spirit's voice is most clearly heard by those who are willing to be quiet before God. Jesus himself often withdrew to lonely places to pray, not because God was distant, but because his voice is clearest in the calm. When the Spirit speaks, his words carry peace. Even when he corrects, it comes with love. The voice of fear condemns, but the voice of the Spirit calls us deeper into grace. That's how we know the difference. He leads us gently, guiding with a peace that surpasses understanding. If you have felt surrounded by noise, pause, breathe, listen. The same Spirit that hovered over the waters in creation is still moving today, still whispering to hearts ready to listen. The wind may be unseen, but you can feel its presence. The same is true of God's Spirit. He may not shout, but his whisper can move mountains in your soul. So lean in. Trust the quiet leading. Follow where peace points. For in the whisper and the wind, the voice of the Holy Spirit still speaks, guiding, comforting, and calling us closer to the heart of God.